So today we'll work on the drink cocktail in her hand, the glass with the drink in it. So for that, I'm going to use burnt sienna and cadmium orange for the actual drink. And I think okay, I'm going to use another. Okay. I think the shape is different. Yeah. So a bit of yellow in there too, in the drink, or even a little bit of white in there in certain areas. Okay, now I think I took it out too much. I'm going to bring it in a bit. Which I can do with the sand if I don't want to remove right now. But because it's still wet, I can remove the paint. But I can shape the glass with the sand from the outside. So it's negative painting. I can do some negative painting. I will do because I need to shape a bit. So this is burnt sienna, cadmium orange. I'm using now, I'm going to use a bit of titanium buff for the sand. So I want to do some negative painting. And a bit of white. Round brush. Okay, that will push the shape in, so it's aligned with the stem. Okay, let's take a bit of white and titanium buff. And soften all of these lines. All right. There. It's good. I'm going to take the same color I was using, which is burnt sienna and cadmium orange. Darken a bit on this side where her fingers are. And I'm going to highlight the other side. So I'm going to take white, mix it with orange. More. A little bit more. White and orange. I need a bit of Payne's gray. And white. And now I am going to give the bottom of the glass a bit of reflection with Payne's gray and white. Okay, good. A little bit more of just darker Payne's gray now. And I'll stop in a minute. I'm going to put a bit of darker Payne's gray on this side and at the bottom. A little bit more white here, just for reflection. Okay, we'll put a straw, and I think there's like a lemon wedge in there, but I'm not going to put it. I'm just going to put a straw. Okay. Okay. So we used cerulean blue for the straw. And I'm going to use some of the burnt sienna to show the bottom of the straw in the drink. So I'm darkening with burnt sienna like that. That will show the bottom of the straw. Now, with burnt sienna, cerulean blue, I'm going to use white with a bit of titanium buff, round brush, and I'm going to try to do some stripy. Okay, done. Right. Also, I'm going to use the same color meaning burnt sienna, orange, and titanium buff. Let's put a bit of blue in it to make it more earthy. So blue is opposite orange on the color wheel. So blue is gonna kind of tone down the orange, and that will give me a nice brownish color. And we're gonna put it here on the strap.
Or you said blue and burnt sienna?
It's burnt sienna with orange.
Oh, with orange.
Yeah, sorry. And then I'm putting, I added blue to it and highlighted with titanium buff. I also have a bit of this Payne's gray in here. Let's put a bit of, that's Payne's gray. And I'm gonna put two little detail right there. I don't have to, but it looks much nicer. Okay. I'll stop for a minute and then we will do the skin tone. Okay. All right, so we're going to do the hand right here on the hat. I have here burnt sienna, yellow ochre, cadmium red light, white, and a bit of burnt umber, just in case I need dark, very dark skin tone. So I'm going to start with, I'm mixing cadmium red light, yellow ochre, and white. And then I added burnt sienna. The burnt sienna I'm using is Winsor & Newton. So it's a little bit more orangey than the regular burnt sienna with Liquitex and golden. I think Liquitex has one that is orangey, like and transparent, like the one I'm using right now. Can't remember the name. Burnt sienna. I'll get the name for you. But let's start with this hand. So I have here 3 colors. I mixed red and yellow ochre, cadmium red light and yellow ochre. I added white, and then I took burnt sienna and I'm putting it here. I'm adding burnt sienna to that mixture on the side. I'm going to start with a dark kind of skin tone. And then I can highlight. I'd rather, usually when I'm doing skin tone, I prefer to start with the dark color. All right, now let's see this one. And take a bit of burnt sienna and burnt umber. And I'm going to put some of the darks I'm seeing in there. So that will give me a good indication where the fingers are. I'm just adjusting this finger here, although I don't have to do it right now, but I'm using negative painting. I'd rather do this right now, and then after, then I can highlight. Okay. Now I can start highlighting. I'm going to take the original pinkish color that I have here, using cadmium red light and yellow ochre with white, and I'm just pushing some of the rest, the leftover burnt sienna, into this, and I'm going to start highlighting. So light is coming basically from left to right. So I'm going to start with doing this part, this one, and this one right here. Again, push that highlight, this highlight, all the way to the back. I'm going to keep part of the hand darker. I'm going to keep this part darker right there. And now I'm going to take more white, put it in the same mixture. I'm just going to highlight the fingers a little bit more, subtle highlight, just to show that the fingers are bending a bit. This one is straight. Also, we have more highlights here on this hand, because this is where the light is hitting, and then becomes darker down here. So I wouldn't highlight all the way. I'll just highlight to here. And also, let's take a little bit of that burnt sienna in here, tiny bit. And darken a little bit this part of the hand. basically usually the side of the fingers are darker, but this is really small, very small right now. I can't go into that detail. I will try a bit, but definitely it's not an easy there. Okay, that's good enough. Clean up a bit over here. Good. So we can move on to the other hand. And for this one, I will need slightly smaller brush, and I'm still going to use a bright or flat, but smaller, so I can have more control. Let's see. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this hand, and then we'll extend the skin tone. I'm going to mix the same red, cadmium red light, and yellow ochre, lots of white. When I put the white, I can tell how much at this point I can tell how much white, yellow ochre or red I want in there. Okay, that's good. Again, the same idea. I'm going to take burnt sienna at this point, put it here. So I'm going to keep some of it for highlighting. Okay, let's start here. The thing is, those I have to change a bit the color of the skin tone because they are very close to the color of the drink. All right. Okay, let's take a little bit of brown, burnt umber at this point, and put some of burnt umber in here. It's not just burnt umber, it's burnt umber mixed with the skin tone color. Actually, maybe we are going to finish it tonight. I'm just gonna cover the basic, just put basic color for the legs for now. I'm just checking and looking at the reference to see where the darks are. So I'm just putting a basic color for the dark. And then go back, put the color for this leg. And because the canvas has been primed in dark color, in burnt umber, the first layer of skin tone is really dark. That's okay. Okay. Let's start highlighting the hand. I went back to my highlights, okay, the pink color that I had there. I'm gonna watch where my darks and lights are on the hand. So you will see in a minute. Down here. I'm gonna go a little bit darker now because the hand is not exposed to strong highlights in this area here. This is mid-tone. I will highlight this more. There aren't any kind of strong darks in here on the skin tone. Just a bit, and then highlights. So we don't have to go to we don't have to use burnt umber. Maybe a little bit down here, just in this area here, we might have to put a bit of darker skin tone. The more layers I put, the nicer it looks. I'm going to switch to a round brush, smaller one, and I'm going to go with stronger highlights. Okay, that finger here again, this one right here, then that one, and this one. Most of the highlights are here closer to the sunny part, and then it goes darker over on this side. So now I have the fingers. I'm going to take brown, burnt umber. I'm going to mix some burnt umber with burnt sienna, and I'm just going to push this color in. And with a very small brush, I'll put the bit of detail. This is a bit funny here because of the way she's holding the glass. And because we're working with small, very small area, it will need a little bit of fork. I'm trying to fix or to adjust the fingers using the drink, the color of the drink in her hand. I'm going to take a bit of dark and then just put a tiny bit of here, just to show difference between both fingers. I put a bit of white in the pink that I have, and I'm just going to highlight a little bit this part and this part and here. Change of brushes, go back to a wider one. I can see a bit of highlights here. I'm going to highlight the legs before I work on the hand, on the arm. Start highlighting the legs a bit so I can see a little bit the difference between the legs and the arm in terms of values, lights and darks. Okay. So now I darkened a bit, not darkened, I'm sorry, I highlighted a bit this part. I'm going to highlight more the other side, but before I do this, I'd like to do this part here so I don't have to, my colors are the same, just in case I don't know to run out of color, run out of paint, and I mix them again. At least I have these two. So this part here of the leg is darker. This part here, right here. Also, this part. Now, I can take, actually, before I do anything, blend this a bit. All right, that's good. And now I'm going to take more white, put it in the pink. Highlight areas that are exposed to the sun. You will see on this leg there are 3 values. You'll see them in a minute. I will show them. I will show you where the values are. Those 3 ones, different ones. And the more it goes in, the darker it's going to be. Soften this a bit. Okay, now I'm going to take more white, push it into that pink, and I'm going to highlight this part of the leg. Because it's higher. So we have kind of 3 values in here. And they are, you can see them. You have the dark, medium, light. So I do the highlights, then I go back to the medium. That's why I have 3 colors on my palette. Three not colors, 3 values. I do the light. I have medium. That's the light here. And I'm just mixing blending the light into, oh, you have to be careful. It's lifting. Blending that light color with the medium. The problem is I'm going over the same part a couple of times and it's not wet and still wet, so the paint is lifting a bit. Okay. So you can see light, medium, dark. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other leg and we are good. Medium tone. This leg has more darks than the other one because this one is casting a shadow over this one here. So I want to make sure that I don't lose the darks. Upper part of the leg is exposed to the sun or the daylight. Lower part or this part is more in the shadow area. This part right here. Mid-tone, because you know acrylic dries darker, so I'm adjusting the values here. Just gonna highlight this part a bit with the midtones because this is it's drying really dark. So just gonna kind of give it a bit of again. Okay.
I have to say goodbye, Liel.
Bye. We'll
Bye,
see you.
everybody. Have a good trip.
Thank you. See you. Bye. See you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Am I? No. I'm not overtime, right? Still okay. All right. One more thing that I need to adjust, and we should be okay. And we're done. I'm going to take color of the sand, and I'm going to clean up, reshape the leg, because I can see shape is wrong. I have to turn it around and paint it this way. There you go. And I'll adjust it more when it's dry. I'll put another layer to clean it up. Okay, we're good.
It's done.
We're done.
Almost.
Done. Yes. All right. All right, this project is done. We can move on to another one next time.